plenty to play for. Today, on the penultimate day of our preliminary rounds, our teams are fighting for better positioning and a positive end to their campaigns. This is the reinforced conference of the PVL, the heart of volleyball.
Hit the ground, 느낌은 crystal clear. Go so now, I got no fear. Heartbeat racing louder than a gun. 이 순간 난 already won. I'm invincible, nothing can break me. Limitless flow, don't try to chase me. Crash like a wave, wild and free. You move that way, I'm all you see. Invincible, na 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 na. Na 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 na. Invincible, na 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 na. Na 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 na. 두지 않아.
And we are coming to you live from the Inares Center, Montalban in Montalban, Rizal for the matchup between the Zeus Coffee Thunderbells, which will be led, of course, by one of their players, Mike Ago. And they face Rachel Jorvina and the Nextled Chameleons, who are hoping to get their first win as they end their campaign in our reinforced conference 2025, as the 6-1 Zeus Coffee Thunderbells look to bounce back from their first loss of the tournament in hopes of advancing and improving their record with the positioning in the quarters. Today, we have our matchup after that, Akari versus Chocomucho at 4 p.m. And then later on, the Signal Super Spikers will go up against the Creamline Pool Smashers for our final match of today. We welcome all our viewers on One Sports, on One Sports Plus, and on the Pilipinas Live app. Dip Bianco alongside Neil Flores and Jana Ejido. The second to last day, Neil, of eliminations, but there's a lot to play for. A game of choices, as they say, in the final 2 game days.
We already have a semi-clear picture of the quarterfinals. The cast is already complete. Pero yung positioning, ayusin pa natin. The teams on the bottom of the standings do want to mess up the positioning of the teams in the top 8. But for the other teams, they just want to end their campaigns on a high note.
Yeah, let's take a look at the team standings to give a better understanding of what you're saying. Dahil we may have the quarterfinals cast already, but yung positioning will play a huge factor kung sino yung maglalaban-laban moving forward.
It is a one-game elimination format when we go to the quarterfinals. So teams do want to avoid certain teams in that round. They do want to face certain teams in the semifinals or even in the finals na. So it's really about choosing the opponent kung saan ka rin comfortable. Sometimes teams would be the kontrapelo to another. So it really depends. Again, at the end of the day, when you play your best volleyball on the floor, you would get good positioning.
Well, Neil, when I talked to the teams a while ago, positioning is a very big deal among them today. But of course, with Nextled, who are 0-7 as of the moment, I think the players are best to hear about that. Let's talk to Rachel Jorvina and May Lumahan here on The Big Question.
Abracadabra. One more. Meron pa. Point. Go, Rach. Oh, isa.
NXLED, will chameleons ever establish a true identity?
Yes.
What does that mean?
I think the chameleons will establish our own identity. Nag-a-adapt kami sa environment or like nag-a-adapt kami sa situations sa court. We know how to adjust in every situation. So yeah, we will adopt.
Especially in our last on-tour tournament, I could really feel the camaraderie on the team, especially just being able to be happy for other people's successes because their success is everyone else's success.
Marami kaming napagdaanan na coaches hanggang sa naging ganito na kami right now. So I think yung growth, yung patience, and also yung resilient namin. So yeah, I think that's one of those highlights sa team namin.
Well, the NXLED Chameleons have a shot still in their final game of getting their first win in our tournament. And speaking of playing her final game in the country, we have a reinforcement of the Chameleons who's hoping to make the most out of her stint here in the Philippines. Paula Martinez has been great for NXLED, but of course she wants to end her campaign here in the Reinforced Conference with a W for her squad.
Prior to her arrival, I think expectations were already set for her that Nextled is a very young squad. That's why she had a different role this season in the Reinforced Conference, but she has been hovering around the top 5 in the scoring categories. Very impressive considering the fact that she is an opposite hitter. This is a better outing for the reinforcement of Nextled compared to their last reinforcement because their last reinforcement was a middle blocker, but now they chose to get a wing spiker, and she has really provided the offense for the Chameleons this season.
150 points, part of the top 10 in terms of scoring in our tournament. Jana, is she feeling sentimental because it's her last game in the Philippines?
Well, Dip, I was expecting that. I was asking her, Paula, are you feeling emotional? But she was telling me, actually, I feel very good today. And why exactly? Because Dip, she said that she's perfectly aware now there's no more stake for the NXLED Chameleons today. But she said that's exactly why she wants to win, because there's nothing for them anymore. She could play really lightly and play easily. And she says, I want to mess up the qualifications on top. Well, Paula also says that when she goes back to Spain, she wants to at least say that she's had a win here in the Philippines. But like you mentioned earlier, this is the last shot that she could do so. And Paula told me that she really wants to make the most out of that last chance so that she could tell everyone that at least she had one win at yung last game pa nga against the Zeus Coffee Thunderbells. Well, speaking of which, their opponents today, Zeus Coffee, who came off against a loss against the Signal Super Spikers last Thursday. This was the talk around the team as well, you know, and I got to talk to Anna De Beer about it, who was the type to really just move on very quickly after a loss. She was telling the team, let's keep moving forward and let's make this a lesson for us, especially as the quarterfinals cast is shaping up as what we mentioned a while ago, and that is exactly what we are interested to see in this matchup this afternoon.
I'm sure Anna De Beer locked in na yan, no, pagpasok ng quarterfinals niyo. So that loss for her, quickly move on na sila from that, and the focus is the match today against Nextled. They don't want to suffer back-to-back losses because they want to carry that good momentum heading to the quarterfinals no matter who they're going to face.
That was also their wake-up call. It's better to lose in the preliminaries than in the quarterfinals.
Yeah.
The locals definitely struggled in that last game against Signal HD. Anna De Beer still scored 26 points. She was the only player who scored more than 6 points in that game. Para bang pasa niya yung buong mundo.
Yeah.
And that cannot happen today because we know that Nextled has a different motivation. They do want to mess up the standings, so the locals really need to step up. Again, 26 points for Anna De Beer against the Signal Super Spikers. It was more than a set, and that was just a 3-set match for this explosive reinforcement.
Sabi nga ni Jana, she's not that emotional. All business for her, so mabilis niya makakalimutan yung talo niyan. For her, today is a chance to get another win and possibly take the top seed in our standings moving forward in our reinforced conference.
Well, of course, Dip, our viewers can really talk about what they think about the performances of the reinforcements coming to this match on the Pilipinas Live app, where we are asking our poll question of the day. And that question is, which reinforcement will pour on the points? Will it be Anna De Beer or Paula Martinez? Feel free to take your pick on the Pilipinas Live app. And of course, join the conversation online by using the hashtag PVL2025.
All right, we're ready for the first match of your triple header this day, and we have the Zeus Coffee Thunderbells going up against the NXLED Chameleons, happening right now on One Sports Plus, and Pilipinas Live.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the United Center in Montalban, Rizal. This is match number 43 in the Premier Volleyball League Reinforced Conference 2025. This matchup is between the Zeus Coffee Thunderbells and the NXLED Chameleons. Let's now meet our officials for this match. Our first referee, Joffer Educado, national referee. Our second referee, Philip Rica Huerta, national referee. And now let's meet the starters. First, for the Zeus Coffee Thunderbells. Setter from the College of St. Camille, number 21, team captain, Chloanne Mondoñedo. Opposite hitter from Adamson University, number 4, Kate Santiago. Outside spiker from the National University, number 10, Ginny Arroyo. Middle blocker from the Ateneo de Manila University, number 15, AC Minor. Outside spiker from the United States, number 18, Anna De Beer. Middle blocker from the University of the East, number 19, Riza Nogales. Starting libero from San Sebastian College, Recoletos, number 16, Eliza Eroa. Head coach for the Thunderbells is Jerry Yee. And now the starters for the NXLED Chameleons. Outside spiker from Adamson University, number 9, team captain, Kiara Permentilla. Middle blocker from the Ateneo de Manila University, number 14, Jason De Los Reyes. Middle blocker from the University of the Philippines, number 15, Jai Atienza. Outside spiker from Ateneo, number 16, Leanne De Guzman. Center also from Ateneo, number 18, Chacha Maraguinot. Opposite hitter from Spain, number 25, Paula Martinez. Starting libero from the Cuba, number 5, Rachel Jorvina. Head coach for the Chameleons is Ettore Guidetti. This game is held under the supervision and regulation of the Games and Amusements Board. It is Zeus Coffee versus NXLED. This is the PVL, the heart.
Let's check out the starters for the Zeus Coffee Thunderbells. Minor Nogales will take care of the middle blocking. We have Santiago, Mondoñedo, Arroyo, De Beer, and Eroa as the libero for them. Meanwhile, for the NXLED Chameleons, see their starters. Atienza and De Los Reyes, middle blockers. The reinforcement, Paula Martinez, Maraguinot as the setter. You also have Kiara Permentilla and Leanne De Guzman, plus Rachel Jorvina to take care of floor defense, as we welcome you all to our coverage on One Sports Plus, and the Pilipinas Live app, Dip Dipianco with Neil Flores, Jana Hiro to bring you the final match of NXLED Chameleons. And for Zeus Coffee, this is their last game as well in the preliminaries, but they will move forward to the quarterfinals. And as we've said earlier, Neil, kahit na last 2 days ito, kahit kompleto na yung top 8 natin as NXLED starts with an ace, crucial pa rin because positioning will be a factor here for the tournament.
That's correct, because right now, even if they end up in the number 2 or number 3 spot, mabigat pa rin yung makaharap nila in the quarterfinals. So it's really about choosing the opponent you're comfortable going up against. For NXLED, Paula Martinez has been nothing but impressive for them.
Well, sabi nga ni Jana earlier at the top of the coverage, doesn't really feel emotional about it, but she wants to play well and try to give her team a win as they exit the reinforced conference. Meanwhile, Mondoñedo sets up Arroyo for their first point. NXLED answers back.
Since this is the last game of NextLED, they just really need to enjoy this game. Once you enjoy the game, mas lose yung movement mo, you'll get your flow early on. You can celebrate every point. No
Yeah.
pressure on their end.
Now, what do you want to see from them in their last game? We mentioned Paula Martinez has been really impressive. But is there anyone in particular na you think could try to show out in this match para maganda yung ending nila sa tournament?
Well, Leon de Guzman should get her usual numbers in the on-tour conference. NextLED was very expensive. They were able to get a lot of wins. And pagdating sa reinforced conference, I'm all about local support. I have always been an advocate of local support. When the locals score in double digits, maganda ang nangyayari sa isang team.
And so far, it is tied at 3.
Nogales now serving for Zeus Coffee.
Nogales has also played well as a middle blocker for Zeus Coffee. Of course, she's coming from a Best Middle Blocker award in previous tournament. Santiago scores for Zeus Coffee.
It's an early combination play for Mondonez. One of the rare times na mag-start indicate Santiago for Coach Jerry. It's always been Jovelyn Gonzaga manning the opposite side of the court for the Thunderbells.
And for Zeus Coffee, how do you want to approach this game? Of course, minsan kasi pag last game, you want to be safe, you want to be, I guess, mas careful sa mga galawan. But if you're Zeus Coffee, how would you approach this game, Neil?
I think it's really about checking how they would bounce back from losses like that. I mean, that straight set loss against the Super Spikers was not expected.
Yeah.
The locals scored 6 points lang at the most. Ana de Beer had 26, so ang layo naging difference, and they really struggled. The defense of the Super Spikers was on point. Kaya kailangan talaga makita nila kung anong adjustments na kailangan gawin. Lalo na pag nababantayan na si Ana de Beer.
Right.
We witnessed a lot of rallies na hindi na rin makascore si Ana, but given that fact, nakapag-produce pa rin siya ng 26 points.
Yeah. And an ace here for the Thunderbells. Courtesy of Kate Santiago, but you're right, no? You want to be able to see your other local players perform. Because after those 26 points by Ana de Beer, yung sumunod sa kanya, si Thea Gagatina with 5. And that is a no-no if you're gonna play tougher matches.
She's a middle blocker,
Yeah.
so the fact that you weren't able to get the production from the opposite hitter and the second outside hitter just says a lot about that performance. Now, they're on their way to a bounce-back victory. A good start for Zeus Coffee with a 3-point lead. Yung mga losses, I know that it also helps the team
Yeah.
be grounded at a certain level. Mas okay nang matalo early on kesa mas-sweep mo yung entire first round pero malaglag ka sa quarterfinals. That would be more painful for a team.
Another point for Zeus Coffee. That's a 4-0 run for the Thunderbells as we go to the first technical timeout.
For Zeus Coffee, 4 for NXLED.
Welcome back to the PVL Reinforced Conference. It's set number 1 and the Zeus Coffee Thunderbelts lead by 4 against the Nextled Chameleons. Looking like a good sign for the Thunderbells, who are coming back after their loss against the Signal Super Spikers last Thursday. And I got to talk to their team captain, Chloe Montañedo, all about it, who described the loss as an odd combination of two things. On one hand, it was an off game for the team, and the Signal Super Spikers also made things very tricky for them. Like you mentioned earlier, Dip and Neil, everyone apart from Anna De Beer, scored less than 6 points. And Chloe on that says that match was an eye-opener for them, a sign at all not to relax even if that quarterfinals spot is booked. Well, as they take the lead here in set number 1 and extend that, I'll send it back to you, Dip and Neil.
Thanks, Jana, for that report. Yun na nga, no? Yung learnings from that loss against Signal. Sometimes, as Neil mentioned, you need those types of games so that you're not too high in terms of your feeling, your emotions. Kasi minsan pag feeling mo unbeatable ka, diba? That's when things start to turn south.
There's a challenge on the floor. That challenge will be called on the Zeus Coffee Thunderbells.
Point goes to NXLED.
The challenge on the floor, and it turns into Nextled's point. Down by 3 here in set number 1. Montañedo sets up De Beer. And that will be Anna's second point of the match.
She has been a consistent 20-point scorer for the Thunderbells. 18 points na ata yung lowest output ng isang Anna De Beer.
Of course, she also had a 37-point outburst in one of their matches. Fermentilla's attack was picked up. Paroyo comes up short. So that's another point for the Chameleons.
Now serving for NXLED, Joy Atienza.
Atienza serves 69. Arroyo targeting the far corner. That falls in for Chini.
Same angle for Chini Arroyo. She tried to do that, but she wasn't able to get the proper approach this time around. She made sure to hit that at the proper contact point.
Picked up by Jervina. Underhand set by Maraguinot. Doesn't get it for Permentilla. Arroyo picked up by Martinez. Play on. Saved by De Beer. Here comes Chini one more time off the block. A redo for the Thunderbell. Santiago. Long rally alert here. And good cover by Jervina. But Martinez will just give a send over. Montañedo to the middle. And Nogales scores for the Thunderbells.
Great distribution from Chloe Montañedo to give the Thunderbells a 5-point lead. Most of the sets of the Chameleons have been going to the left pin, and that's because of their on and off efficiency in ball control. Hindi umaabot sa target zone, so Jaja Maraguinot has been forced to send it over to Chiara Permentilla. But now, she gives that set to Paula Martinez to get a break point.
Second point for Martinez. Maybe they need that big game from her. Possibly could get her highest scoring output if they want to get a win here against Zeus Coffee. Oh, De Beer comes up short.
Too soft for Anna De Beer.
3-point lead for the Thunderbells still. They are tied with PLDT and Farm Fresh at the team standings in terms of win-loss record. That's a service error for Maraguinot. But in terms of points, lamang yung PLDT at Farm Fresh by 1. So 18 points for the high-speed hitters, 18 points for the Foxies. So the Thunderbells, they want to improve, and if they want to get a win, possibly in straight sets or 4 para complete 3 points. De Los Reyes gets a point for the Chameleons.
If Farm Fresh or PLDT wins their last game in 3 sets or more, Hindi rin naabot sa number 1 yung Zeus Coffee. So, titingnan pa natin yung game ng PLDT. They still have one match, I think, against the Petrogas Angels on Thursday.
On Thursday. Yun yung final day of eliminations. Before we move on to the quarters next Monday. One hand set. Saved. Eroa goes to the beer. The chase doesn't get there on time, and that's a point for Anna De Beer.
Bump set from Eliza Eroa. Transition for that sharp cross. Galing kay Anna De Beer. She recognized the presence of the reinforcement of Nextled. So she changed her angle last second.
Oh, that's way out for De Guzman. No check. And a point for Zeus Coffee. And now a 6-point lead for the Thunderbells. (15-9). Oh, nice set by Maraguinot. And that's in for Martinez.
We know that Jaja Maraguinot is a very good defender, so you have to assist her by giving those passes to her directly or kahit malapit sa target zone. Paula Martinez can get that one stop or that quick side out for Nextled. It's really about support in the passing department. But when you have an Anna De Beer swinging like that for Zeus Coffee, you have to find other ways to keep that ball alive.
Cross-court hit that brings us to the second technical timeout. Back inside the Inares Center, Montalban, for your PVL Reinforced Conference. Second to the last game day of our elimination round before we move on to the quarterfinals next week. And it's the one of the top teams, Zeus Coffee Thunderbells, against the bottom team, NXLED Chameleons. 6-point lead for the Thunderbells here in set number 1.
Early substitution for Coach Jerry. Gagate is in.
And the setup to Santiago, but that is out.
No check, says the first referee. Point for Nextled.
Martinez heads to the service line. She has 3 points to lead all Nextled scorers.
This is also an opportunity for Coach Jerry to give more playing time to his second stringers. You need everybody to be at their best when we get to the quarterfinals.
Yeah, of course, you want to try and rotate and figure out who you can rely on pagdating dun sa mga bigger games.
Doubles up for Nextled.
Maji Mangolabnan in the game. And of course, Jovi Fernandez at the opposite. And De Guzman with a response.
It's an all-local lineup for the Nextled Chameleons. They do have 3 attackers in the front row. This is what we've been looking for. More numbers para kay Lian De Guzman. Also one of the rookies, the recently concluded PVL draft.
Number 4 overall pick for the Chameleons. De Beer, that is saved by Mangolabnan. Lian to Fernandez, easy over. Eroa, underhand set to De Beer. Dug still by the Chameleons. Play on. It's another extended rally ended by Chloe Mondoñedo, but there was a net violation.
Yep. Mondoñedo acknowledged that error.
Masyadong dikit, yeah. On the way down.
Probably her fingertips lang yung nakahawak ng net. That was already an obvious 1-2 play. Pag nakaangat na yung isang kamay ng setter, the blockers really need to react quickly to get a block touch.
De Beer attacks. Jorvina gets a touch, but Nextled unable to chase for the second ball, and 5 points now for Anna De Beer.
Fans are still missing EJ Laure for Nextled. We can see her here in the venue just supporting from the sidelines alongside with Maslang and Lucille Almonte.
Maggie with a setup. Oh, but returned to sender by AC Minor.
That was too tight for Chiara Permantilla.
And this Tibay defensive play of the set is brought to you by Elastosil. Selyado ang bubong anumang panahon. And an ace for Anna De Beer. 20 points now for Zeus Coffee. And a timeout called by the Chameleons. Take a look at this. It drops, unable to save, and they are forced to call a timeout.
Like this. I have players, not Smurfs. We are in a big hole. Keep high the ball. In defense, you're trying to be precise. You're under pressure. You're giving the ball tight to the net. We are not expressing a game. We are making some tricks. We cannot play. Then we go to serve, and we serve very bad. Here we go. Oh.
Coach Ettore was giving instructions, lalo na sa receiving and passing. They want to pass perfectly. And when you try to pass perfectly while under pressure, ang nagiging result ay dumidikit yung bola sa net. You always have to give some distance para at least yung setter may space then to chase after that ball.
And again, they couldn't get a good pass that time around. Jorvina saves it. Permantilla. De Beer doing a good job at the back. Arroyo, naabangan. Underhand set back to Chini. And that falls. Another point for Zeus Coffee.
Another tight pass. Couldn't get to that ball on time.
And May Lumahan is now in the game for the first time. Also, Fiola Ceballos will come in to serve for Coach Jerry Yee. So, both reinforcements are on the bench. And like what you said earlier, Neil, this could be the game where for Zeus Coffee, they will try to field in other players to give them a chance para pagpasok ng quarters and possibly semis if they go on ready yung mga players si Coach Jerry.
Nandiyan pa si Chai Troncoso, also a backup opposite or outside hitter for Coach Jerry.
Mondoñedo tosses to Arroyo, scores off the block.
For Chini Arroyo.
And a 9-point lead now for the Thunderbells, 3 points away from cruising to set number 1. And Coach Ettore will call his final timeout.
Like this. This is line. This is line for Zeus. This is a sure point for Zeus. Watch out, guys. They are serving. The ball fall down. Keep the ball off the net. Ball other side. The hole is position 6. The tip is in line. And every time I want the rally to finish at the first attempt with a bench player scoring at the first attempt of our block.
Coach Ettore is clearly unhappy with the performance of the Chameleons here in the first set.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, just because it's the last game for them, Neil, doesn't mean that they're not gonna. That doesn't mean he doesn't want his players to play hard. Sabi nga niya, kakapasok lang ng player ng Zeus Coffee off the bench and you let her score. That's a no-no for Coach Ettore.
Aside from the tight passing of the Chameleons, he also pointed out the block positioning of his players. They cannot give the line to Chini Arroyo. That's one of her go-to angles.
Saved by the Guzman. Fernandez goes for another off the block, and that falls in.
That's it for the double Coach Ettore.
And Neil, it's a 6-0 run for Zeus Coffee. We're now up by 10. Babalik na si Paula Martinez for Nextled and Jaja Maraginot. And Coach Guidetti hoping that his team stops the bleeding here. Lumahan. Ball slowed down. Mondoñedo goes to Arroyo. Kept alive by the black shirts. Martinez. Saved by Ceballos. Minor. No. Maraginot trying to go for the attack. It trickles down to the side of Zeus Coffee. Long rally. Lumahan again. Minor was lost thanks to Mondoñedo. They save it. And that's the point for Chini Arroyo to take us to set point.
Nextled has been trying to attack the block of Flo Mondoñedo. Pero nasasahod Flo Mondoñedo yung attacks ng Nextled. That's why they're able to recycle that ball in transition to their own offense.
(24-13). And Atienza with an attack error. That is the final point for the first set. And Zeus Coffee takes it with a 12-point lead. They end it on an 8-0 blast. And squeezing through for that comfortable set 1 win over the Nextled Chameleons. Take a look at that point. And Zervina couldn't do much. We'll be back with the second set right after this. Back inside the Inares Center Montalban for your PVL 2025 Reinforced Conference. The Zeus Coffee Thunderbells taking set number 1 over the Nextled Chameleons 25-13. We'll talk about the numbers in just a bit. We'll show the highlights right now. Neil, what did you see there in set number 1? Zeus Coffee, it was a comfortable margin for them.
It was a walk in the park for the Thunderbells. They started that set with heavy serves, and it really affected, I guess, the confidence of the Chameleons. We saw a couple of shank passes, and yung mga bitin at dikit nahatid papunta sa setter, kaya nahirapan din si Jaja Maraginot to engage the other attackers on the floor. Most of the sets went to Lian de Guzman, Kiara Permentilla, and the blockers of Zeus Coffee were just ready to defend the net. 15 attacks compared to the 7 of the Chameleons. Zeus Coffee also had more blocks and service aces. Unforced errors, not a lot of difference there. So a 12-point difference in set number 1. So for Nextled, first things first, they need to pass. Because if you won't deliver a good pass, di mo rin magagamit masyado si Paula Martinez. I think that's the reason why pag reinforced conference, mas gusto ko personally na outside hitters yung kinukuha. Because here in the Philippines, we have a lot of out-of-system plays. And most of the time, pagdating sa number of attempts, nasa wings talaga. And it will boil down to the outside hitters to produce the points for them. Kasi pag out-of-system, mas comfortable ang setters to go to the left compared to the right pins. But I don't know, maybe Nextled also decided to use this conference as a training ground for their outside hitters.
Right.
Para pagdating ng All-Filipino Conference next year, they would be, prepared even more.
Now we've seen a couple of teams who, opt for an opposite. Martinez scores the first point for NXLED in this set. But you're right, no? Karamihan din outside hitters yung kinukuhang foreign guest player ng clubs in the PVL. And I guess the logic din nga sometimes is because pag loaded yung outside hitters mo, that's when you try to get an opposite hitter. But I get your point also with how it is played here.
Most of the top scorers in the PVL are outside hitters. The reinforcement.
Agate with a score. That's her first point in the game. Coming off the bench and service error there.
Couple of changes for the Chameleons. Mayang Nike will be starting off as their middle blocker. Now, Coach Eto Reguidetti is utilizing his two liberos.
Yeah. Nike also drafted in this year's edition. That doesn't go over for NXLED as we get this report from Jana Ejido.
As today is Paula Martinez's last day with the NXLED Chameleons. I had a chat with her earlier and I got to ask about what will she miss the most about the team when she goes back to Spain. And she had to say it in Spanish, dip and kneel, as she described La Hermandad, which meant sisterhood. And Paula says it was in the tough moments that she felt this the most, even surprised with how the team does not fight at all. She loves how in the short time she spent with the team, they learned to help each other a lot and still find joy despite being one of the bottom teams in the standings. Well, set 2 is another chance for Paula and the team to end it on a high note. Let's see how this turns out, Depanil.
Thanks, Jana, for that. And great Spanish, by the way. Ganda nung pagkasabi ni Jana, no? Did you take Spanish back then? Hindi. Paula Martinez, for sure, will miss her teammates, and Chameleons will also miss her too. That energy inside the court as that ball went out. But there's a challenge on the floor for Zeus Coffee.
Call is reverse.
Yeah.
The point will go to Zeus Coffee.
So no more challenge there. Thea Gagate will serve for the Thunderbells. Thea also has slowly been incorporated back into the lineup of Zeus Coffee after missing some games, nursing an injury. De Guzman breaks the block.
Third point for the Guzman, second leading scorer next to Paula Martinez with 4. Mas mataas yung nagiging success rate ni Leon De Guzman. He tries to go for those hitouts. A while ago, she has been trying to go above the block of Zeus Coffee, kaya sumusobra.
Change up there for De Beer, doesn't work. Permentilla will try and scores.
Another block breaker for the Chameleons. Single point.
Only a 1-point game here. De Guzman continues to serve. Back set to Santiago. De Guzman with a dig. That time around, it won't be saved. And also a net violation in the process.
Point number 8 for Ana De Beer. But the locals have been scoring 5 points for Chini Arroyo, 5 points for AC Minor. The locals will be surpassing their output from their previous performance
Oh.
against the Super Spikers.
I think yun yung gusto talaga makita ni Coach Jerry, right? As that one falls to the side of Nextled. When he saw the stat line after that game against Signal, immediately, alam mo na why they dropped that game. Because again, little to no production from the other players outside of Anna De Beer.
They were frustrated against the Super Spikers. Ang tibay nung depensa ng Signal nung araw na yon, not just against the locals, but also against Anna De Beer, kahit na pumunto siya ng 26 points.
And of course, you also have to give credit, as you mentioned, to how well Signal played in that game. They know that they had to rack up some wins to get to the quarterfinals. Back and forth, and it drops for AC Minor. 6 points for AC after scoring only 3 in the previous match. We go to the first technical timeout. The first ever FIFA Futsal Women's World Cup is happening from November 21 to December 7 at the Phil Sports Arena in Pasig City. Visit fifa.com/tickets for more details, or you can watch it live via the Pilipinas Live app, One Sports, One Sports Plus, and RPTV. One of the sports that Nino started to learn already. Diba? Na-introduce na nga yung bagong kit ng football team, and we're excited to see the action over at the Phil Sports Arena. Meanwhile, the Tibay defensive play of the set is brought to you by Elastoseal. Selyado ang bubong. Anumang panahon, good block for the rookie, Mayang Nike, who now serves. Mondoñedo tosses to De Beer. Sharp angle, goes out. So that's back-to-back points for Nextled after the technical timeout. De Beer, high enough for Permentilla. Binigay kay Martinez, who finds the spot.
By Paula Martinez.
5 points for Paula Martinez. Top spot just behind the double block of Zeus Coffee.
5 points now for the reinforcement. Mondoñedo goes back to De Beer. This time it works.
Anna De Beer.
Kaya ang laking advantage na outside hitter yung reinforcement. Because pag nagkakagulo na sa floor, that instance, wala na mapuntahan si Clo Mondoñedo, you will still be confident na ang taas ng rate of conversion when you go to the left side.
And 10 points na nga si Anna De Beer here, Neil. Just like that, in double digits. This time Arroyo, steady save by De Guzman. Kiara straight to Angeles. Pipe attack from De Beer, picked up again by Lian. Medyo bitin dun for Martinez yung kanyang talon. Checked by De Los Reyes. Back and forth we go. And Arroyo gets it in.
In between Chiara Permentilla and Delorio.
That is the look of a man who is not pleased. Almost an ace. Angeles again with a save. Mondoñedo with a chase. Delerio picks it up. Permentilla doesn't get it. Santiago, no. Another try for the white shirts. This time they go to the middle. Minor was red. Guaypa But not anymore, as Arroyo
Hands for Chidi Arroyo.
is racking up points. She has 7 in total.
Coffee starting to pull away. Back to a 4-point lead for the Thunderbells.
But a service error for Zeus Coffee ends the run. Much needed for NXLED, who are still within distance. No?
Serving for Nextled. Jaja
Ibang-iba
Martinez.
from set number 1, Neil, na talagang lumayo yung Zeus Coffee early on.
We're seeing longer rallies also here in the second set. Mas maganda na yung ball control ng Nextled. This time around, they have to work on their offense as
A
well.
running fireball from AC Minor.
Zeus Coffee gets a break point. You also have to get an immediate side out para hindi tumagal sa isang rotation.
Service Minor.
When you have Paula Martinez in the front line, that's the time that you have to score consecutive points.
Yeah.
You can easily get 3 or 4 points when she's up front.
And there you go.
Paula
Right on
Martinez.
cue for Paula Martinez. We have to utilize her pretty well.
Service
Maximize her at the front. Ooh, and it goes over.
That's an ace from Kiara
They will take it.
Yeah.
Lucky point for Chiara Permentilla. Lead is down to 2.
Kinaibigan yung net that time, and an ace for Permentilla to cut the lead down to 2 points. However, gives up a free one right after. And also,
Serving
we're
for the
seeing
Thunderbells. Chloe
fans
Montañedo.
entering the venue. I'm sure they are getting ready too for the next couple of matches. Martinez, that is out. No check.
Ball out.
But for a Tuesday early afternoon game, this is a good
Challenge by Nextled for Quatouch.
number of people inside Inares Center, Montalban.
Point goes to the Chameleons.
And I hope you're also enjoying the action over on One Sports, One Sports Plus, and Pilipinas Live. Still a close set 2 here. Klo, back sets. That was blocked.
Point Nextled.
And here come the Chameleons, who are only down by 1.
That's the second kill block for the Chameleons. They're playing better defense here in the second set. They're also on the board in terms of service aces.
Short serve. And Arroyo with a
Through the
blockbuster.
defense for Chidi Arroyo.
When you're up against a power hitter like Chidi Arroyo, it would be difficult for you to close in on her pag na-delay ka dun sa support block. It's all about the timing.
Jaja back sets Martinez. Oh, that's a couple now for Martinez, who has struggled to find the mark.
There was a check ball.
Oh, there you go. Kaya pala.
Point goes to Nextled.
Doubtful that she would get 2 attack errors like that. So eventually an admission on the side of Zeus Coffee na nakakuha ng touch. 1-point game. Good dig by Jorvina. Maraginot, the setup to the Guzman. It goes, and we are tied at 14.
Ito yung hinahanap ni Coach Ettore Guidetti. He wants to see the 3 touches connect.
Yeah.
Dito sa Nextled. Started off with an impressive dig from Rachel Jorvina. Set up by Maraginot. Lian de Guzman. But they will give away another free point off their service error.
The 2 things, he wants to see the execution and of course yung fight from the Nextled Chameleons. Despite this being a non-bearing game for them, but of course they don't want to go winless. Sabi nga ni Janet, diba, gusto manggulo pa rin sa qualifying quarterfinals rather. In terms of positioning, chance now for the white shirts, and Minor drops it in.
From AC Minor.
And that takes us to the second technical timeout. Back-to-back points for Zeus Coffee.
14 for Nextled. Still serving for Zeus Coffee, Thea Gagate.
Back inside the United Center, Montalban, as mentioned earlier, fans have started to arrive at the venue for the Tuesday triple header. And NXLED doing a good job of keeping up the fight here in set 2.
Great support from Lian de Guzman, 6 points, second best scorer for the Chameleons. Now nandikit na yung score, 16 for Zeus, 15 for Nextled. Now is the time for Jaja Maragino to get, quick numbers from their reinforcement, even if she's in the back row. But they have to lessen these errors from the service line.
That will hurt them. I mean, I know it's only a 2-point lead, but I'm going to try to avoid those errors if you want to get a chance against one of the top teams in the reinforced conference. Talking about Zeus Coffee. Chance for the black shirts. De Guzman had to extend. De Beer goes up. Bent down it goes for Anna De Beer.
Double block was super delayed. On the Nextled side.
Double substitution again for the Chameleons. This time, Maji Mangulabdan will come in with a different partner. Like Ebon is in the game for the first time.
That's also a disadvantage in a way pag nagdo-double sub tapos opposite hitter yung reinforcement. Kasi nawawalan ng emergency na pang one-stop from the back row. Compared to other teams na outside hitter, ang reinforcement nila at any point in the game, pag kailangan nila ng puntos, kahit saan sila sa court, pwede bibigyan ng bola.
Yeah. That's a great point right there. Meanwhile, Permentilla scores one for Nextled. Scramble there. Nagawa ng paraan. Mayang Nuwike serves for Nextled. Toss to Ana. Nice save by De Guzman. Permentilla. Eroa keeps it alive, and a point courtesy of Mondoniedo.
Defense wasn't ready for that drop. So again, it was obvious that Mondoniedo will be going to that dump ball. Basta isang kamay nakataas na, it's either dump ball or hatid sa middle blocker.
1-2 play, a 3-point lead. Ebon. Ah, nice. That's a point for Laika Ebon.
We're loving the energy from the Chameleons. They're just down by 2. This is a manageable lead for them. Babalik ngayon si Paula Martinez to try to erase this lead against Zeus Coffee.
Substitution for Zeus Coffee, number 18, Demir out, number 17.
Maraginot will get ready to serve for Nextled.
Now serving for the Chameleons, Chacha Maraginot.
17-19. Minor scores. Now at the 20-point mark, itong Zeus Coffee. Martinez. And that falls short for Permentilla.
Timeout Nextled.
Timeout Nextled.
We don't go anywhere. We are tied, we got 4 points, but you still lose in your main. So we lose. It's normal. If you don't want to play, tell me. If you're scared to play, tell me. There is people that want to play. Here we go.
The first ever FIFA Futsal Women's World Cup is happening from November 21 to December 7 at the Phil Sports Arena in Pasig City. Visit FIFA.com/tickets for more details, or you can watch it live via the Pilipinas Live app, One Sports Plus, and RPTV again. Do watch that if you can.
Serving for the
At the Phil
Thunderbells,
Sports
Mike
Arena,
Marco.
for the first time, the country is hosting the FIFA Women's Futsal World Cup. Sabi ni Coach Ettore, if ayaw niya maglaro, may iba pang players that wanna go in. So let's see if that motivates the Chameleons.
Hindi pwedeng half-hearted, sabi ni Coach Ettore
Chini
Guidetti.
Arroyo.
They've been committing a lot of unforced errors here in the second set. Aside from errors on the service line, even in transition, yung counter-attack nila, nagiging error din. Kaya dumadagdag sa kalamangan ng Zeus Coffee.
And of course, that comes from a good place, what he said, as Permentilla gets a point. Because nangihinayang siya. They were already down by 1 earlier. Natabla pa nila yung laro. Then, falling behind here late in set 2.
That's more like it for Chiara Permentilla attacking the seam of the double block of Zeus Coffee.
She will head out. May Lumahan will come in to replace her. Down by 4 in set 2. Mondoñedo goes middle to Gagate, picked up by Maraguinot. It'll be have to be Jorvina to set up the Guzman. Back with Nextled. Jaja back sets. Martinez attack was dug by Santiago. Arroyo goes up and kept alive. Lumahan with a track down, and we play on. Gagate, no. Nextled doing a great job defending. Still on. Walang hulugan. This is a long rally alert. Arroyo. Saradong-sarado ni Jorvina in this sequence. Martinez trying to outsmart. This is the longest rally so far of the match, and it ends with the Guzman point as she falls down to the ground.
That's a big point for Nextled. Great defensive sequence for them. Jorvina had a lot of digs in that rally. He really scrambled to keep that ball alive.
You have to applaud both teams for their efforts in that play, that sequence. Mondoñedo back to Gagate, trying to really set her up and build confidence for her second point off the bench.
It was another good pickup from Jorvina, but Nextled wasn't able to keep that second ball in play.
Martinez, red, back with the Chameleons. Second try for Paula, and this time it works.
You have to give her more opportunities to score. She's now at 9 points, 2 points behind Ana De Beer's 11.
Now, Paula Martinez only had 10 points in that loss against Akari. On pace to surpass that one. A huge block, and could be a momentum booster for the Chameleons. That was Mayan Muike. Oh, Leah de Guzman actually.
It's a good blocking set for the Nextled Chameleons. Short ball.
Oh, another one for Thea Gagate, who will bring Zeus Coffee at set point.
Ana De Beer is back on the floor. That is bad news for Nextled.
I wonder for what reason. Martinez, soft touch. Play on. Paula again. Steady hands for Chini Arroyo. De Beer. Dug by Delerio. De Guzman blocked. And that's how we end the second set. How do you like that, says Kate Santiago, denying the entry. This point is brought to you by Myra. Be Vita Brighter with Myra's vitamin-powered whitening lotion. That's the monster block to end set 2. We'll be back with the third one right after this. Back inside the United Center, Montalban for PVL Tuesday, our penultimate day of the elimination round. Our first match of this triple header. The Zeus Coffee Thunderbells are up 2-0 over the Nextled Chameleons, who put up a fight better than the first set, Neil. Yeah. We saw them even tie the game up at one point towards the latter part, pero dulo. The Thunderbells knew what it took to get it.
Nextled had 54 attempts in offense compared to the 46 of Zeus Coffee, pero mas mababa yung efficiency nila. That only means that they work better defensively to get opportunities to score. Yun nga lang, hindi sila nakakapag-convert. They only had 26% efficiency. But I already said that it was a better blocking set for the Chameleons. 3 kill blocks against the offense of Zeus Coffee. So that is a good number. But there were a lot of mistakes on the service line. 6 total free points given to the Thunderbells in set number 2. And now they're facing a do-or-die situation once again in the third set. This might be the last set. At the end of the road, literally, for the Chameleons if they drop this set. For Zeus Coffee, they still want to end strong to prepare for the quarterfinals.
You know, Neil, it's really two contrasting stories that we have here, because the Nextled Chameleons, since they joined the PVL, have not gone to or ended the conference with no wins. Right, the worst record that they've had is a win, which in the last reinforced conference it was their record: 1 win, 7 losses. All Filipino in 2024 to 2025, 1 win, 10 losses. But you know, it's surprising because they're coming off a good on-tour performance. Itong Chameleons, they were actually second at the end of the pool phase in that tournament.
Everybody was impressed by the performance of Nextled in that conference. So, mas mataas yung naging expectations entering this reinforced conference. But it is what it is. Of course, Nextled will still be looking at the All-Filipino Conference.
Yeah.
That is going to be our main conference every year. And dun talaga magkakatalo kung kanino ang sistema na pinakamaganda in the PVL when it comes to club teams.
And that short off season, who knows? Maraming pwede mangyari, di ba? Bringing in players.
This is also an incomplete lineup pa for the Chameleons.
Correct,
Malaking
correct.
kawalan si EJ Laure because she is one of the main
Correct.
sources of points pagdating sa offense.
As we begin, set 3. Tip Bianco, Neil Flores, Jan Ejido bringing you the match. Napag-usapan natin na yun nga, Nextled in danger of getting their first winless tournament. But for Zeus Coffee naman, this is their best elimination round performance yet.
There's a change in the setter's position para sa Nextled. Mangulabnan will be setting. Maraginot will be coming off the bench. For Zeus Coffee, Fiola Ceballos will start things off.
Block point, Zeus Coffee.
It's a block point for the Thunderbells. Baliktad naman, no? Kasi sila, they're coming off a winless conference in the Invitationals just a couple of months ago.
That's 12 points in total for Ana De Beer. Yun din, pag opposite yung reinforcement mo, there are rotations na ang katapat niya ay reinforcement din ng other team. So, nawawala agad yung advantage compared to a reinforcement versus a local na mas short in terms of height.
Time and time again, as we have a challenge on the floor, the reinforced conference reminds us that, you know, if you're a team at the bottom, you get a good reinforcement, there could be big changes in store for you.
Lalo na pag heavy swinger yung reinforcement, it's all about getting a good scorer and the steady passer. The reinforcements, the outside hitters, may load din sila in reception eh. They also have a load in blocking, even in digging. They also score from the service line. So they do a little bit of everything for a team. That's why they're all over the stat sheets.
Nipis nun, but it was inside for the Chameleons. A successful challenge for them. Ito na yung pangatlong reinforced conference natin post-pandemic. By the way, 2022, nung nag-champion yung Petrogas, 2024 with Creamline. Nagkaabang-abang who will make it to the end of this year's edition. Kate Santiago scores. Tied at 2 in the early goings of set 3. De Guzman replies. 8 points right behind Paula Martinez, who has 9.
They will reach the double-digit mark for sure. About De Guzman and Martinez.
Yeah, Lian did even score last game against Akari, so you know that she was looking forward to doing better this time around. It's out for De Beer. Back-to-back points for Nextled. But a challenge will be called by the Thunderbells.
Block touch challenge. I believe yung block touch sa harapan lang, hindi ata ma-check yung angle from the defender. Because Zeus Coffee is pointing out that it was the sweeper from Nextled who touched that ball last.
In other cases, that's what we call the last touch challenge. But we don't have, I don't think we have that here. So
yung last touch, it's always checking lang pag joust yung nangyayari sa harapan din ng net. It's not the last touch in the back row. There was a block touch.
We say that because yung Nextled parang sure sila na walang nakahawak. Pero we saw that. It was very close. That's a successful challenge for Coach Jerry and his squad. Paula Martinez hoping that this isn't her last set with the Nextled Chameleons. Picked up. Klo Shoots it to Ceballos. Back with the white shirts to the running Miner, and it drops for AC.
She knows what to do with that ball. She's very smart. And sometimes if alanganin yung set, hindi niya pinipilit. She doesn't force the issue. She just goes for that power tip. She really targets a certain zone. That's 10 points in total for AC Miner.
De Beer from the back. And still playable. Angeles wants a clear out to give it to Ceballos na pinadaan lang sa blockers. Smart play for Viola.
That has been her go-to spike or attack rather in this conference, yung mga hit out against the taller blockers.
Pass it to Martinez, and De Beer won't catch. Paula gets to double digits with 10.
Right there. Again, she's in the top 5 in the scoring category of our reinforced conference.
150 points coming into this game. Zeus Coffee will answer right back quickly for Miner.
11 points. Imagine having a middle blocker score 11 points behind Anna De Beer's 13.
And
Ibig sabihin ang taas ng efficiency.
Yeah. 9 attacks and 2 blocks to have that 11 for Miner. That is out for Nuike. So now a 3-point lead for Zeus Coffee here in set 3. De Guzman. That's in.
Second referee called a net fault.
We have a challenge right now. By the way, to remind all our viewers, we still have one more day of eliminations happening on Thursday. We go to the Mall of Asia Arena. Napag-usapan natin yung crucial part of positioning. Farm Fresh and PLDT, who are tied at number 1 with Zeus Coffee, will still see action on Thursday. So that's why hanggang dulo you'll have to wait and see para malaman sino yung mga maghaharap sa quarterfinals. You also look at the other teams in the standings. The middle pack, Creamline, Akari, Signal. They will also play later on. Net fault challenge. No. Net fault.
Is successful. The point will be replayed.
So a successful challenge for Zeus Coffee, no point. It'll be replayed for this one.
The shot score is 4 for Nextled, 7 for Zeus.
Miner waiting for the whistle, and that is her cue to serve. 7-4. Paula. The reach by AC. The joust. Oh, nalagpasan si De Beer. Mayang has done a good job at the net.
That's right, she has cemented her position in the starting unit. 3 points for
Serving for
her.
Nextled, De Guzman.
Down by only 2. Klo goes to Nogales. Ball slowed down, back with Zeus Coffee. Riza goes up for another. They go to Ceballos instead. Anna from the back, dug by Martinez. Bermentilla waits for it, and it goes in. Oh, or rather out. And that takes us to the first technical timeout. Zeus Coffee up by 3.
5 for Nextled.
welcome back to the PVL Reinforced Conference. The Zeus Coffee Thunderbells are leading up by 3 points against the Nextled Chameleons here in set number 3. I was with the huddle at the team side earlier with the Zeus Coffee Thunderbells, and they gave praises to each other, especially to Chini Arroyo, who got some praises from the coaches. And that reminded me of my conversation with her a while ago. As a key player for the team going to the quarterfinals, Chini says they're not thinking about the stakes of the next part of the conference as of the moment. Dapat di raw maka-affect sa kanila yon. And like you mentioned earlier, Dip, they'd want to carry some momentum going into Monday, bouncing off a loss and ending preliminaries on a high note. Now with a 2-0 set lead, things are looking bright for the Thunderbells.
Thanks, Jana, and I think that's the right mindset, Neil. No? Na don't think too far ahead in the tournament dahil hindi mo pa nga alam sino yung mga kalaban mo eh. So, focus on this one and the things that you need to work on, which I think Coach Jerry, well, it's hard to tell with his expressions, but I'm sure
always stoic.
Happy siya with the way his team is playing. Maybe some comments, but the way it is as Nextled scores the point. After nito, they will just have to wait and see ano yung magiging results ng ibang laro.
Yep. Now their focus is on winning this in 3 straight sets. For Nextled, Coach Entore has been very active on the sidelines, giving instructions dun sa defense pattern ng Nextled. There have been balls na pag tiningnan mo, easy ball na for them, but it ends up becoming a point for the Thunderbells.
Good cover by Nogales. Nilipat. Papunta kay Fiola. Riza with the attack. Nothing there. Kiara breaks the block. Back-to-back points for the Chameleons.
Point number 5 for Kiara Permentilla. Getting a lot of opportunities to score.
Mondoniedo sets up Santiago. What a hit from Kate.
That's her natural position, but now she's being utilized as an opposite hitter. 6 points also for Kate Santiago. As a lefty, I guess mas madali yung transition niya from left wing to right wing. Mukhang pinapahinga rin nila si Jovelyn Gonzaga. Has been playing like a second libero for Zeus Coffee. Another point for Kiara Permentilla of that drop ball.
Eight to 10 in set 3. Claw goes to De Beer and catching Jorvina off guard.
Too strong for Rachel Jorvina. She was in the right position for the pickup. Pag nasa harapan mo na yung bola, that much force, you need to use every muscle in your body to absorb the power in that hit.
They go back to her, Anna. Manglabnan has that area covered. Kiara and Nogales are able to keep it in play. 7 points now for Permentilla.
2 players are in double digits for Nextled. Martinez and De Guzman both have 10 points. Same goes with Zeus Coffee. 2 players in double digits. Minor with 11. De Beer with 14.
AC. The dive by Jorvina. De Guzman is roofed. Back to Lian. Second try. Still nothing. Eroa with a pickup. And Minor attacks. That goes into the stands. A point for Zeus Coffee.
Definitely a steal dun sa rookie draft. I was expecting AC Minor to be picked earlier, but she was picked 5th by Zeus Coffee. Just what they needed.
Yeah. And speaking of steal pa si Nogales.
Yes.
In
Third round pick.
Third round. Paula Martinez with 11 points.
She's such a jolly person. Parang kahit down na sila ng 2 sets, she would always try to give 100% energy.
Yeah. And if you see her rallying her teammates, diba, you would get encouraged.
Wow.
AC Minor, wow.
Another deadly slide attack from AC Minor from the reception.
Ganun na ganun yung reaction natin, no? Yung cut out ni AC Minor. They're really having a great conference for Zeus Coffee. But the serve is long for De Beer. Back to a 2-point game. And there'll be a double substitution for Nextled. Jaja Managinot back on the floor to serve. Ebon. Arroyo scores the point for Zeus Coffee.
Three-point lead established by Zeus Coffee. Almost there. On track to win this in 3 straight sets.
That one was read by Nogales. Arroyo. That is out. Point for the Chameleons. Service. 12 serving 14 here in set 3. Over received. But Permentilla couldn't capitalize. Dug by De Guzman. Kiara again. But it's long and out. But
there's a check ball on Riza Nogales. Nextled is just down by a single point.
yeah, no complaints for Nogales. Just like that, it's a 1-point game. Again, Nextled coming back, but De Guzman committing a service error.
They shoot themselves on the foot once again off the service error. This already happened in the second set. Didikit sila. They would give away free points from that line.
Yeah.
Tapos aabante ulit yung Zeus. Every time they take a step forward, it's like taking 3 steps back when you commit those service errors. Side out there though for Laika Ebon.
To cut the lead down to 1. Mayang Nuiken now serving. Mondoniedo to Santiago. Return to sender. De Beer goes up. The dive by De Guzman keeps the ball up, and a point for Permentilla, and we are tied at 15.
9 points for Kiara Permentilla. She has picked up her game here in the third set. That's the aggressiveness you want to see from the attackers of the Chameleons.
We had 4 deadlocks in the first set. This is also the 4th deadlock of the game, of the third set rather. Oh, look at Eroa. Didn't have to move. And Santiago scores the point to take us to the second technical timeout.
Second technical timeout score, 16 for Zeus Coffee, 15 for NXLED.
The Stibay defensive play of the set is brought to you by Elastoseal, selyado ang bubong anumang panahon. The blocking of Zeus Coffee. They have 5 blocks as a team. 2 from De Beer, 2 from Miner, and 1 from Kate Santiago. So that has
Serving for
helped them
Zeus Coffee,
in this match,
Arroyo.
protecting a slim 1-point lead. Let's see if they'll be able to close this one out in straight sets. Arroyo to get us going. Permentilla saved by Chini. Kept alive by the Chameleons. This is gonna be a free ball. And Santiago had the right thing in mind, but just out.
The lead is gone for Zeus Coffee. That's it for the double sub of Coach Ettore. Paula Martinez will now help the Chameleons on offense as she moves to the front line.
16 all in set 3. De Beer. That's in. Nobody home for the Chameleons.
That is the most difficult corner pocket to defend. Sometimes when you anticipate a shorter hit from the attacker from the opposite side of the court, sumusugod ka papunta sa harapan. At pag lumampas yung bola sa shoulder mo, it will be impossible for you to catch up.
That's what happened there. Martinez trying to go for the same spot on the other side of the court, but it was out. Back-to-back points for the Thunderbells. Micah Go will check in to serve. That's a good serve by Go. And a chance for Zeus Coffee to attack as Miner scores.
It's 3 straight points for Zeus Coffee. 14 points for AC Miner.
Serve of Micah Go causing an overpass that led to a point. Timeout for Nextled.
Only with a free ball, or the middle, or a combo. Okay? Yes, if it's short or long. Yes, if it's short or long. Yes. Maybe they score an ace on the last meter, and that is up to me. But the short, no. Here we go, ready?
Positioning is very important if you are on the receiving end of the rally. When the servers rather are serving long, medyo kailangan dumikit ka sa attack line because it's easier to move forward for a short ball compared to backpedaling for a long one.
Martinez sent back. Second try, still no go, as it was denied by the blockers of Zeus Coffee.
Zeus Coffee is having a difficult time getting a side out in this rotation. It's a strong front line for Zeus Coffee. De Beer, Miner, Kate Santiago.
Santiago now has 8 points, 2 of those coming from blocks. 4-point lead for the Thunderbells. High enough for Kate. Oh! And Arroyo and Go.
Point for Paula Martinez. Point number 12.
Yeah. Couldn't get there on time. Tatlo pa rin ang lamang ng Zeus Coffee. Lumahan serves. Flow goes to the middle, and they continue to activate AC. 15 points for the rookie.
Big numbers, actually. Tying the output of Anna De Beer.
That falls. And a point for Paula Martinez.
Might be the last few points for Paula Martinez. So for Maji Mangulapnan, might as well utilize her presence up front. Even if it is an out-of-system play, you would still have a good chance of scoring if you put that ball up. Para kay Paula Martinez.
De Beer gets her 16th point of the match. 3 points away from taking this in straight sets and improving their record to 7 wins and 1 loss. And as you mentioned, Neil, try to maximize Paula Martinez while you can.
Even if she's in the back row, set her up. Now that you only have 2 attackers in the front row, Enrique and De Guzman, kailangan isali mo talaga si Paula Martinez. Counter-attack.
15 puntos for the Spanish national. Arroyo, slow down. Maggi will go to the middle, but that was way too low for Mayang.
Paula Martinez was waiting for a set in the back row. Mangulabnan wanted to activate the middle.
23-19. Like we said, this is Zeus Coffee's best elimination round performance. On pace to be the #1 team, at least after this match, on top of PLDT and Farm Fresh, who will have to wait for their turn on Thursday to determine the final standings. But that one is out for Nogales.
Zeus Coffee will not be challenging that call to still have a 3-point lead.
Serving for the Chameleons, Leanne De Guzman.
20 serving 23 here in the third. De Guzman, 10 points. But they want to extend the match more than anything. Martinez from the back.
On the line,
It's good.
Martinez.
Money for Paula Martinez. Called it. Again, you need to give her some sets.
Down to 2.
Only down by 2. This is a manageable lead to overcome.
Yeah.
You can use your middles as a decoy. Pwede mo patakbuhin sa slide. Tapos ibigay mo sa pipe for Leanne De Guzman as well. You have a lot of options. It's a quick point for Zeus Coffee off the Nogales power tip.
Zeus Coffee is now at match point.
Just like that, Zeus Coffee gets to match point. And NXLED calls for their final lifeline.
They are not the tallest one is the middle. Okay? If we want to play a May, pull, first tempo back and open. Or tempo back and front if you want to open other side. Guys, anyway, we fight, we fight. Ready?
Serving for the match, Chloe Montañedo.
Timeout called by NXLED. Zeus Coffee up by 3 and are 1 point away from ending this in straight sets. Luman is blocked.
1 point, Risa Nogales.
And that ends the match. Nogales with a punctuation mark to end this one. And they bounce back from that loss and get to the top of the team standings. Moving on before we end the elimination round at least. This point is brought to you by Myra. Be Vita Brighter with Myra's vitamin-powered whitening lotion. Santiago was that woman who got that point.
This was the bounce back win that they were looking for. Convincing win for Zeus Coffee. 3 straight sets. Chloe Montañeda did a wonderful job in distributing those balls. 3 players will end in double digits for Zeus Coffee. As for NXLED, they will be looking forward to the All-Filipino Conference.
Yeah. So, no wins for them in this tournament, but a lot of learnings for sure, which hopefully will help them out in preparation for the next one in January.
Ganun talaga. Sometimes you take home wins, sometimes you take home lessons. Hopefully, the experience that they gained here in the Reinforced Conference will help them become the All-Filipino.
25-13, 25-21, 25-21 as we turn you over with our very own Jana Ejido.
Thanks, Dip. I'm here with the Nextled's Paula Martinez, who's just played her last game with the team. Paula, this is your last game in the Philippines. Is there any message you would like to say to everyone who supported you here in the PVL?
Yeah, I wanted to say thank you to all the fans that gave for us. And thank you to my teammates. They've been amazing, and it's been an amazing journey here. And yeah, that's all. We're done. Thank you.
And thank you so much. I'm sure everyone here in the Philippines has enjoyed your presence. We wish you the best of luck in the future. More about the match when we return.
Thank you. Thank you.